him, the photographer, has been a passion, something I have followed closely in my life, and I think my love for camera is quite evident to date. History, there's no history. It's like telling me to read my story since I was born. It's basically who I am. I'm all about camera. I'm all about anything related to camera. And I believe that's partly why I'm into marketing. And but most importantly, I love camera and the execution that are made possible through camera. This is probably the strongest and longest relationship I've ever had in my life. Most of my relationships have failed terribly. Yeah, but this one has stuck. I'm so proud of myself. Yeah, my relationship with the camera has been rock solid. As I said, since I was born. But I think the pinnacle of it all is when I think I was in class 6. My father owned a Kodak KB10. It's a black camera. Back then, those were the cameras that had that film inside, and I don't know why we used to call them negative. Really, we used to call them negative. And I remember carrying it during the competition events where people wanted to take photos. I was literally among the few people who actually accessed a camera back then. I didn't know many people. Nowadays you go to events and you see paparazzis. Back then there weren't people like those. So it was such a big thing for me. I used to take people photos, then I would take that film inside and have it processed, and then I would give hard copies to my fellow students, pupils, and other people who wanted photos, honestly. And they used to pay me, I think, 15 shillings or 20 shillings, I can't remember, per one hard copy. They used to charge me like 6 shillings to process one film, one patch of the film, basically one photo. So it was good business. The most fulfilling thing about being a photographer is when you get to see life through a lens, a 50 millimeter or even a 200 millimeter. You get to see life from a different perspective. I think that is the most fulfilling thing. At the end of the day, you look back and you're like, wow, this is a beautiful photo. Yeah, so I think that is the most fulfilling thing about being a photographer, honestly. At least for me. When I have shot a wedding video or a wedding photo shoot, I've done a wedding photo shoot, and once you're done processing the images and the video, and you're going to give the client the video, the photos normally come quite quickly, so within a few days they already have their photos, but the video may take maybe a week or 2, sometimes even a month. And sometimes the clients, after the wedding, some of the budgets disappear, so they don't have money to pay you back, or to pay the balance, and you hold on to the video for some time. Eventually you realize these people are not gonna pay you, and you keep calling and nobody is really responding. And one day one of the couples, or the one that you are working with, they tell you that we separated. That really hurts. It really hurts when a wedding that you shot even before you could actually deliver, they have separated. Another sad part about being a photographer is maybe a photo shoot you did a year or two ago, and someone calls you and they ask you, hey, do you still have the photos of so and so you are done as a photo shoot? And like, yeah, I do. I still have those photos. I've not deleted them, or they are still in my drive. But like, would you like get a really good one for a portrait for the burial? They passed on a few days ago, and we are planning for the burial. I know it's part of life, but you know, it breaks your heart when you have to go and now look at those photos, edit them, and put them in a portrait. It's sad. I think people are very much content and very okay with being fake. People are just okay with being fake. The moment a camera is pointed at you, you want to put up a face. I don't know why we do that. Some of the best photos that any photographer will have taken is, especially in an event which is not very much controlled, or in an environment that is not much controlled, are those photos that people are taken randomly and they are not aware. Those actually capture the real emotions. You see, the ones that we manipulate and control, like studio photography or model photography for that matter, these are fake emotions, and the world is full of those. You open your social media today and you see the kind of photos that are, you know, receiving much likes and all that. Even the ones that people are trying to make them look like they are just natural, they're actually doctored, or they are basically scripted. I think my major takeaway is that people are just okay with being fake. I think that's why photography business is booming, and partly why many photographers have trust issues. It's very hard for photographers to trust easily. I believe I speak for many photographers because we know how much fake is out there.